How did you find out someone's reality wasn't real? I worked at a grocery store with Jake and never really talked to him, until one day he randomly started venting about his neighbors. He said they were insane. He told me they'd bang on the walls whenever he sneezed or coughed, screaming at him to shut up. At first I laughed because it sounded so over the top, but he was serious and said they did it every single day. He couldn't even turn on the TV without them yelling at him through the walls. I remember just nodding along while I ate my granola bar, mostly waiting for the break to end so I could go home. Well, a couple days later Jake stopped showing up. Nobody said anything about it, and honestly I didn't really care. People quit or got fired all the time, so it wasn't that weird. But after a month or two, he randomly came back, just walked in one morning like he'd never left. So I said, "Hey man, where you been?" That's when he told me he'd been in the hospital. He didn't really go into detail, just said it was for personal reasons. I asked if the store had actually fired him while he was gone, and he said yeah, but that he didn't want to get into it. I remember thinking that sucked, but didn't push him. I just told him it was good to see him and went back to stocking shelves. Then a couple days later, I was in the break room when one of the guys who was closer to Jake than the rest of us looked at me and said, "Did you hear what happened to Jake?" I told him yeah, he'd been in the hospital and got fired or something, but I didn't know the full story. That's when he gave me this weird look and said, "Wait, he didn't tell you?" I said no, and that's when he told me everything. Apparently a few months back, Jake was at home when it all started up again. His neighbors yelling through the walls, telling him to shut up, banging and screaming like always. He finally got fed up and called the cops and told them he was being harassed. The police showed up and, according to Jake, spent